Welcome. Mrs. Evans, Mr. Gomez, and Mr. Parker's classes have been studying Florida's history. Marguerite Kinnan Rawlings is one of the famous Floridians that we have studied this year. Welcome. Mrs. Evans, Mr. Gomez, and Mr. Parker's classes have been studying Florida's history. Marguerite Kinnan Rawlings is one of the famous Floridians that we have studied this year. Ms. Rawlings has touched many generations of readers with her stories of the Florida wilderness. She is best known for her novel, The Yearling, which was awarded the Pulitzer Prize in 1939. The Secret River is the only story Marguerite Kinnan Rawlings wrote especially for children. She lived most of her life in Cross Creek, Florida, where most of her writings take place. The Secret River was published after her death and was awarded a Newbery Honor in 1956. Our fourth grade classes at Holy Trinity Episcopal Academy are pleased to present a rendition of the story, which was inspired by the 2011 edition of The Secret River, illustrated by artists Leo and Diane Dillon and published by Athenaeum Books for Young Readers. Scene 1. Early morning at Calpurnia's house. There is a dark forest far away in Florida. The trees are so tall that the sky is like a blue veil over their leafy hair. There is a path through the forest. It leads to the home of Calpurnia and Buggy Horse. Calpurnia is a little girl and Buggy Horse is her dog. Her name is Calpurnia because she was born to be a poet. Buggy Horse is a peculiar name, but even when he was a puppy, his back dipped in the middle and he had a mostly fat stomach, just like a little old Buggy Horse. He could not have been possibly called Rex or Rover or any ordinary name for a dog. Calpurnia wrote her first poem about him.
story begins, Calpurnia was awakened very early. Outside her window, two red birds were singing to each other. They sang so loud that she heard them in her sleep, and she woke up. She listened, and she decided that one red bird was singing, "Love me, love me, love me," and the other bird was singing, "Sure do, sure do, sure do."
Wake up, my dear dog. I feel like something special is going to happen today.
Buggy Horse just stretched himself and yawned. He was a lazy dog. He liked to sleep for hours and hours, sometimes in the sunshine and sometimes in the shade. He hoped Calpurnia was not getting ready for an adventure. He was obliged to follow her wherever she went because he was miserable when she was out of sight.
Calpurnia washed her face and hands, brushed her teeth, and combed her hair. Because of her feelings, she put on her best pink hair ribbons. She made her bed neatly. She went out of doors with Buggy Horse and saw that it was indeed a beautiful day. The sun was shining, and the oranges on the trees were as bright as balls of gold. As it turned out, she had the best reason in the world for making the journey. Scene 2.
You two little hungry things, come and get your breakfast. Hard times have come to the forest. What a hard time. It means everything is hard, especially for poor people.
Calpurnia felt the table and laid her hand on Buggy Horse's hard back, and it was true. Everything seemed harder than usual.
We are poor people, I don't feel bad. We are poor people. I make an honest living selling fish to the other poor people. Now there are no fish. Nobody can catch any fish. I little hard with all of us.
Calpurnia ate her hard bit to patted Buggy Horse's hard back, and she said at home.
You can't say everybody bees, my friend. It sounds like you're talking about bees, honeybees or bumblebees.
Calpurnia was delighted. She changed the phone, and then she said,
I know it. R, R, R. R, R, R. Everybody flowers, everybody happy hours, all the time. Everybody bees, is my pet. Everybody flowers, is my flowers. Everybody happy hours, is my happy hours, all the time. It's my everybody bees, is my pet. Everybody flowers, is my flowers. Everybody happy hours, is my happy hours, all the time. It's everybody bees, everybody bees, everybody flowers, everybody flowers, everybody flowers, everybody happy hours, all the time. It's that's better. You're a really smart child, but you should say R. Sometimes I don't know who's smartest, you or that little old Buggy Horse dog. What matter who's the smartest if I can't get fish to sell to the other poor people?
Calpurnia went outside and stood beside a tree and thought about the fish market. There was a small pond where she and Buggy Horse often went to fish, but she never caught anything except for tiny minnows. Also, she used angleworms for bait, and they were squirmy and had to be kept in a glass jar. She did not like this, and she imagined that the angleworms didn't like it either.
If I were a fish, what would I like to write? I would like to write something unusual, something pretty.
Calpurnia remembered some beautiful pink crepe paper left over from a birthday party.
Mother, can I make some pink paper flowers? Of course, my child.
So Calpurnia made some large roses from the pink crepe paper and tied them to her pigtail. Scene 3, Mother Alberta's house. When she was ready, Calpurnia set out with Buggy Horse and her fishing pole to find Mother Alberta, who was the wisest person in the forest.
Mother Alberta was sitting in front of her little shop. She was worried about hard times too. Like Calpurnia's father, for if there are no fish and one person is poor, then everybody else is poor too. Mother Alberta had no customers at all.
Mother Alberta rocked back and forth.
Child, I'm not reading this story so, but I'll tell you. There are big fish in the secret river. Oh my, fish, catfish, perch, bream, mudfish, and goldfish, especially catfish. How will I find them? Nobody knows. You will know the river when you see it. Just follow me. Thank you, Mother Alberta. When I catch fish, I will leave you some. Child, you talk like an answer. Mother Alberta told me to find a secret river that I followed in my notes. I don't know where to turn.
Scene 4. Journey to the secret river. Now Calpurnia thought it was foolish to find anything by following her nose.
Calpurnia turned to look at him, which Mother Alberta told me to find a secret river by following my nose.
So Calpurnia started out into the forest. The first thing she knew, a rabbit hopped by. Calpurnia turned to look at him, which meant that her nose pointed to the right, so she followed her nose. After a while, Blue Jay flew into a live oak tree. Calpurnia turned her nose to the left and looked at the Blue Jay. Once again, she followed her nose. All of a sudden, she heard a sound like music. The forest had ended, and in front of her was a river she had never seen before. Calpurnia had found a secret river. The river was so beautiful that she sat down on a cypress knee to admire it.
Do you mind if I sit on one of your knees to admire the secret river?
The cypress clipped 3 green needles, which she took for permission.
The river was singing as it ran by.
Do you mind if I catch some of your sheep before I some hard times?
In company, you saw the fish. They were jumping and dancing. There were so many of them that they got in each other's way.
Mind if I catch some?
The fish did not answer, so she took that as permission. Then she saw a little boat tied to the bank. They had a sign on it. Calpurnia walked over to the boat to read the sign.
Please tie me up again when you are finished. I'm so afraid of getting lost.
Calpurnia stepped into the boat with a fishing pole, pink paper roses tied to her pigtails. Buggy Horse followed her into the boat. She pushed away from the shore. Then she took one of the pink paper roses and tied it to the hook on the end of her fishing pole. It floated her for minutes and sank slowly through the water. An old frog sitting on the bottom of the river saw it.
Now, what is that thing you want? Look like this. That thing. I will bite. That's true.
The frog settled himself to watch. Before it opened his eyes, a huge catfish tried to swallow the pink paper rose and was hauled out of the river on the end of Calpurnia's fishing pole.
I knew there's nothing more to do.
Sitting in the boat, Calpurnia pulled in one fish after another. Buggy Horse hung over the side in excitement. Just as Mother Alberta had promised, there were more catfish than anything else. And her father could get a higher. This pleased Calpurnia for two reasons. In the first place, the people of the forest dearly loved eating catfish, and your father could get a higher price for them. In the second place, catfish are extremely disagreeable. They try to stick everybody with sharp barbs in the head. Calpurnia thought that fish should go out of their way to stick people who dare to do so.
I agree. There's nothing more. There's nothing more for a catfish.
After a while, Calpurnia had as many catfish in the little boat as she could possibly carry. She pushed the boat into the shore and tied it carefully to the trunk of a cypress tree. She moved the fish to the ground and the Buggy Horse helped her. He could only carry one fish in his mouth at a time, but he worked hard and did his best.
I wish we could go home and visit, but I promised Mother Alberta some fish, so come with your dog.
Buggy Horse looked at the fishing pole and barked.
Calpurnia understood at once.
Beargrass has long, thin, tough leaves, and they can be used like strong pieces of string. She broke off the leaves and passed them through the gills of the fish, and tied the fish onto the fishing pole. She put the pole over her shoulder. It was very heavy with all the catfish on it. She started out the pole.
Mother Bear told me to find a secret room if I found on my nose. Do you think we can get home the same way?
Buggy Horse barked, and she decided to try to get home the same way. Two red foxes turned her nose to the left. And a mother raccoon with two baby raccoons turned her nose to the right. It was getting dark. The sun had set. The night animals were coming out to play and hunt for their supper. Calpurnia heard a strange sound. Calpurnia did not know where the questions came from, but she answered bravely.
I'm California. Who are you? Why, it was just a blue owl.
But then she saw the blue owl sitting in the top of the dead tree. He was enormous and he did not look friendly. She wondered if he had come out to hunt for his supper. He rolled his big round eyes at her fish. He rolled his big round eyes at Buggy Horse. No doubt about it, he was very hungry.
Mr. Owl, now you see the nice lips. Catfish for your supper?
He flew down Caucasus on one side and Caucasus wings. He flew down Caucasus head on one side and Caucasus wings. He flew down into a small wild country beside her. There was a great deal of trouble to untie the catfish from her fin, but she picked out the biggest fish of all and laid it on the grass. The girl swooped down and began eating it at once without saying anything.
You're all up on my leg.
The forest was so dark she could not see her nose in front of her face, so of course she could not follow her nose.
I'm not a bit worried.
Calpurnia was really worried, but she said it to cheer up Buggy Horse. All of a sudden she saw a huge shadow in front of her. The shadow moved and Buggy Horse growled. The shadow was a big brown bear. Calpurnia's heart went thump, thump, thump. Buggy Horse tried to hide behind the catfish, but Calpurnia thought maybe the bear's hungry too.
Mr. Bear, can I just get a nice fresh catfish for your supper?
The bear snuggled as if he needed a handkerchief, and he came closer. She did not wait to pick out the biggest catfish. She pulled two fish from the fishing pole as fast as possible and laid them on the grass. She did not run away, but she hurried. She called over her shoulder.
You are entirely welcome.
Then Calpurnia saw something crouching ahead of her. It was a panther. She did not wait to pick out the biggest catfish. She pulled two fish from the fishing pole as fast as possible and laid them on the grass. She did not run away, but she hurried. She called over her shoulder.
Mr. Panther, you are a sort of cat, and cats love fish. Can I just get a nice fresh catfish for your supper? You are certainly most welcome.
The journey home. Calpurnia and Buggy first went on, and then the full moon rose, and the forest was as bright as day. She smelled night clouds blooming. A white crane flew straight across the moon. It dropped a white feather, and Calpurnia picked it up and tucked it in her hair. And then she saw that we were out of the forest and on the path home. Buggy's horse barked joyfully and ran ahead.
It will be nice to go home like a snake, but I promise Mother Alberta some practice. Come here, Dad.
Mother Alberta was just turning off the light in her shop when she heard the knock on her door.
Who is that, Mountain Boy?
It's Calpurnia with your fish. Mother Alberta's eyes were as big as saucers when she saw the fish.
Oh, Master, the main hoppers. Oh, Master, so faithful.
How much fish do you want, Mother Alberta?
Oh, Master, the red tree. Just one second.
Calpurnia chose the nicest fish Mother Alberta hadn't heard them. They all said goodnight and Calpurnia and Buggy hurried on home. All the lamps were burning in the house. Calpurnia's mother and father wrapped their arms around her and began to cry.
Dear daughter, we thought you were lost in the forest.
Oh no, I just followed my nose and soon it turned soft like tender salt. I gave some away, but it was necessary. Her mother and father could not believe their eyes when they saw the catfish.
Child, how did you catch all these fish? How did you carry them home by yourself? Where have you been?
But Calpurnia was so tired and so sleepy she could not answer. She did not know anything until it was morning. Calpurnia's father had gone to his market to sell the catfish. A townsperson who had not had anything to eat for a long time bought the first catfish. Kind sir, I cannot pay for this fish, as I have not had enough strength to work. As soon as I earn money for days of work, I will pay you. Sir, I too have not had anything to eat for a long time. I will pay you I'll pay you for the fish as soon as I have eaten and have earned enough money for a day's work.
All the people from the forest bought catfish and ate them and felt strong again and went out into the world and found work to do. Each villager earned money, and that night they all paid Calpurnia's father for the catfish and had money to spare.
Mother Alberta had 6 customers in her shop.
And so hard times in the forest turn to soft times.
One day, Calpurnia and Buggy Horse started out to find the secret river again. They searched all that day and the next day and the next. Calpurnia followed her nose this way and that way. She found strange flowers and strange birds and strange little pools of water. But she could not find the river, so she went to Mother Albertha.
Mother Bertha, I cannot find the secret river. Child, this is a sad thing to tell you. There is no secret river. But I saw it. It must be somewhere.
Mother, Bertha rocked back and forth.
Child, sometimes it can happen twice and it does not ever happen anymore. When you told me to find it, I found it, and I want to find it. When you told me to find it, I found it, and I want to find it again. Child, you caught catfish and catfish you needed. Hard times have turned to soft times. You will not find it again. You want to catch my catfish?
Mother Albertha rocked back and forth.
Child, the secret river is in your mind. You can go anytime you want. In your mind. Just close your eyes and you will see it.
Calpurnia was delighted.
Calpurnia was delighted. She skipped all the way home. Buggy Horse chased her with a whip.
Calpurnia sat down under the mango tree and closed her eyes. She saw the river. The secret river is in my mind. I can go there anytime. Everything about that bird says is true. The sky is gold, the river is blue. River, river, I love you.
The secret river is in my mind. I can go there anywhere, anytime. Everything Mother Albertha says is true. The sky is gold and the river is blue. River, river, I love you.
Sometimes we're to the trees and flowers.
We'd like to recognize all our stage crew, Mr. Reister, Mr. Meyer. We'd like to recognize all our teachers, Mrs. Evans, Mr. Gomez, Mr. Parker. All of the animals. All the narrators. Mother and father. Mother Alberta. Buggy horse. And California. Thank you. We hope you enjoyed our show.
Let's also give a round of applause to Mrs. Gaines.